What's going on, guys? JNC Nick here, and who do we have, and what did you do today?
Hey, my name's Anthony Shu, and I got 6th place at YCS Philly. It was like around a 500-man event, around 10 rounds. I went 8-1-1, and this is my deck right here.
Nice. Let's hop right in.
Yep. For the, I want to say beforehand, huge shout out to
for sure,
Lucas Sacco. I originally wasn't gonna play this event, but he told me that this deck was doesn't need the Fiendsmith cards. It's also really good. So I like took a day yesterday to learn it, and then this is what I did. I did pretty well.
Insane. All right, let's hop right in.
Yep. So for the monsters, it's 3 of the Estrella, 3 of the Sylvie, and 2 of the Rushia. You don't play the other 2-star. What I like about this package is that if you see one of them, you see all 3 of them. So like that's different from the other ones. And even if you get stopped on the normal summon, you still get to go use the 6-star to go ahead and get everything. And I like how the trap makes it so that if you get stopped by your Runick plays, you can still extend by sending the trap to maybe draw a card to see if you can regain your Runick plays. This is the worst one to draw, but you still want like 2 of it for the grind mostly. But you can go ahead and side out. Like post side, I usually take, if I really need to side out a lot of cards, I take out one of these and one of these. Because if you go second, like they're really not going to let you just normal summon and then get your combo started.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then the Runick engine, it's very standard. You run the 2 fountains and then 3 of every single Runick card that is good. And then the 1 bad one. It's 16 Runicks and 40 cards. It's not the ideal amount, but usually in order to maintain a high amount of Runick count, back in the Cherry Runick, we ran around like 18. We also, in addition to this, we also ran the Dispelling and the Golden Droplet. But in this deck specifically, because of how cards like Chicken Game and Upstart Goblin work with Diabell and the engine in total, we ran those cards instead. So even though there's a less amount of the Runick cards, you see them way more often. You basically run out of all the non-Runick cards by like turn 3 to 5, and then you just start cycling Runick cards. And then the non-engine, it's Desires, Chicken Game, the Terraforming to fetch the Chicken Game, the triple, this, 2 of these and 1 of these. This is also like, if you happen to draw into this and you also already have combo, you just go ahead and dump the skill drain to add it back with Diabell.
Okay.
Which is like one of the main mechanisms of the deck.
Oh, nice.
Post side, you change the skill drain for like Tikaboo or like D-Barrier, and then you just whatever hurts the most. So, and worst comes to worst, if you see this going second, or if you just see this and you don't have combo, you can Foolish this, and this would still be an extra card draw. And even if you already used this, let's say you drew it and then you pitched it, you can still at least Foolish another Runick name so that your fountain gets an extra draw. So I really like this package. And then I asked Luke Sacco exactly why we were running Upstart Goblin, because I didn't get it. Because I was like, why instead of running these 3 cards, would I not just run, for example, an extra set of board breakers or more Runick cards, because at least the Runick cards are engine. But he had a really good explanation, which is this card, it synergizes very well with your Diabell, because Diabell says that when this card is summoned using a Synchro Tuner, you can target any spell trap in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. But the problem with the spell traps, the Runick spell traps, is they're all once per turn. But Chicken Game and Upstart Goblin are not once per turn. Okay. So when those are in your graveyard, you can use them first and then get them back and then use them again. And it doesn't, like, especially Chicken Game, you can use it, draw a card, send it off for one of your Whitewoods effects, make Diabell, add back to Chicken Game again, draw another card, and then pitch it off for your Risha effect, draw another card. Like, every single one of your Chicken Games is not only a card, but it's also a free cost, which is, like, honestly ridiculous. It's, like, one of the main reasons why you're playing these cards, because these cards, like, you know, post new time rules, they're not very friendly for time rules.
Yeah.
You automatically, they're like 2,000 up and you're like 1,000 down, and these automatically get sided out game 3, which but like they're just so strong games 1 and 2 that it really doesn't matter, and they're like flex side slots game 3. And then these are just like regular card draw. And then the only non-engine that you're running in the deck is Evenly. It's similar to back in the Cherry Runick, where this card, if you go first, you can just pitch it. If you go second, it's a really good card. You use your first battle phase. There was this one game today where I faced a Yugioh player. They ended on full board, but I got rid of their Spirit of Yubel and then crashed Jerry to bait their Barudras, and then I resolved it evenly for their whole board, and that's how I won. It's like easily the best board breaker right now. Even though every deck still puts up Desiree, the theory is that with the Runick cards, you can go use your tip and your destruction to knock the equip spell off the Desiree, which means that it will have to be forced to negate whatever you're targeting the equip spell, which would make it so that your evenly matched technically resolves more often. So it's like a little bit better than everything else. And then 1 brick and 1 skill drain, the real win condition. And then for the extra deck, for the Runicks, it's it's just 3 Hugins, 1 Jerry, and 1 Munin. The Hugins, you use like 2 of them in your combo turn 1 if you open up really well, so you really do need 3. And the 1 Jerry you also use if you want to do Diabel plus Changing turn 1. You use 2 Hugins plus a Jerry. You resolve Fountain 3 times. That's like the basic combo. And then the Munin is just a time card. And then the XCs in the main deck. These 2. Shout out to the Shu. He told me to run this. I originally only was running this because when I saw Luke's dex profile, he only had this. But I ran into a couple situations where if you go second, you can't clear everything. Especially Desiree. That card's very hard to clear. But this card can just when you go for your Diabel into SP to banish 1, and then you go overlay this on top of your SP to bounce the Desiree, you basically end them on basically nothing, and you hope that's enough. Sometimes it's not enough, but sometimes it is. And then for the Synchros, this is what you summon off Diabel. These 2 are what you go into to break boards or to use your engine. This is the best card in your deck. What's good about this deck over the other Runick variants is that these 3 are like never ending really, and they can't be impermed, which is really good because the final round they had a Fenrir and a Unicorn and a Desiree. I summoned this, they tried to Desiree negate, I used the Graveyard effect to shuffle it back, and I booked their entire board, turned off the Birth, and that's how I was able to play.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then the Coral Dragon for the flex spot level 6. Sometimes when like you're comboing, you're low on cards, you really need to go Coral Dragon into Diabel to draw a card and then get back your Fountain, and hopefully you drew a Runick card, therefore like your Runick engine's back online. Because against the Runick decks, a lot of the time people like to put you on 1 card, because Runick decks on 1 card can't both get back Fountain and proc Fountain. But with this deck, you kind of have the ability to do it because of Rusha to draw a card and Coral to draw a card. Sometimes you just draw into the second piece, and then these 2 are needed for the combo. You end on Diabel, which summons Shrimp to XL Synchro this out, and this is just typically what you end on.
Best card in Runick.
And then this is SP.
Okay.
She took it back. I do not own that card. And then for the side, this is to dig into your cards when you go second against Yubel, because Yubel's like unbeatable. This is your time card because this is a Runick deck. You go. If the game plays out all 3 games, you're guaranteed to go into time. Might as well. And then Tactics and Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler is just a really good card going second, and when you can side out a lot of cards because close going to time, all those upstart goblins, chicken games, terraformings, like they're all side slots. You just swap about for this. You break board. You go Dark Ruler evenly, and then you just draw. You draw into talent, and then it's just win more. And then last but not least, the 2 cards that you swap your skill drain with against Yubel. This is FTK. If you go first, you just send it, add it back to your hand, flip it, they just lose. Okay. And then against Tenpai, you just have this. This isn't, unlike the other Floodgates, this isn't scared of the Lightning Storm.
Which it seemed like those 2 decks were definitely very, very popular this event.
Yeah, and then last but not least, the Exciton Knight. This is the swap for the Baguska when I go second to help break a board. Originally, I had Dweller in this slot, but Dweller didn't really come up, but Exciton Knight does come up for when, because nowadays, the end boards are so, there's so much stuff in the back row against Yubel. There's the field spell, there's the circle, there's the Nightmare Pain. If you don't clear everything, it's impossible to win. And then against Snake Eye, they have all the follow up in the back row. They have like the Cashtira Birth and whatnot. If you just need a card that can just answer everything one time only.
Yep.
And then worse, if they have floaters, you just overlay Typhon on top of this.
Yeah, so it's nice. So it's basically Zeus without having to go into battle phase.
Yeah, because you don't have a battle phase in this deck. Yep.
So that's pretty cool. All right, so that's pretty much it. Any last shout outs you'd like to give?
Shout outs to the Chinese Discord, shout outs to Shu, shout outs to Bukasako, and Studs Group Chat. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. All right, guys. Jancy Nick. Peace.
Peace.